What's up? Yeah.
My name is Sean White.
And Sean White, we know you as the, neighborhood connoisseur, the man with the plan, all the above. You know what's ironic? You being a barber, I just seen something recently and everybody's talking all about this stuff about, trendsetters. Do you consider yourself a trendsetter?
I don't see it until like years later, if I watch a video or if I see something else and I see that I influenced it or something like that, then where somebody might build their store like mine, or they might hire people that I've hired in the past, or use a form of advertising that I've used, then I say, yo, I did that like a couple of years ago. So in that sense, I do see it. I do see it.
I mean, you don't speak on that though, right? So then that becomes a thing of, so you know that you innovated things. The same thing like me, if I started doing all these videos pre-TikTok on the streets in 2013, and now it's a big thing now.
Yeah.
That is a mode of trend. That's a major mode of trend set.
No.
So you have done that. I mean, from beards, I believe in the borough of Staten Island, New York, you were born and raised here? Mm-hmm. Born and raised in Staten
Born and raised, yeah. Originally in West Brighton, and then I moved to New Brighton. I lived in 810 Henderson in the projects in West Brighton. Our apartment caught on fire, and then we moved to New Brighton.
I never knew that. Now you moved out when your mother and father was both out here?
Yeah, they were together. Yeah, my mother and father originally from Brooklyn, Bay Ridge. My father was in the military, and from what I understand, he met my mother in Bay Ridge.
Yeah, same way how my father met my mother.
Same thing. And then when the Verrazano opened, they came over here to Staten Island.
Yeah, well, a lot of people was migrating to Staten Island from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Okay, they were one of those. Okay. How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I have 4 brothers and sisters.
4 brothers and sisters?
Yeah, so I have 2 sisters and 2 brothers. I'm in the middle. I have an older sister who is a twin with my older brother, and then I have one more brother older than me, and then I have a younger sister.
Wow. What actually got you into the mode of becoming, did it come from your father, mother in regards to being a barber? I don't even know to call you. I couldn't even call you a barber. I think that they calling you a barber is like calling me a content creator.
Now I found out years later that my great-great-grandfather was a barber and a number runner in Charleston, South Carolina. So I found that out way later after my father passed, like meeting his family or my family, meeting, and they telling me, oh, it runs in the family, the barber stuff, whatever. Also, my brother's a barber. So after school, yeah, my older brother, my oldest brother who's a twin, I used to have to go to the barbershop after school and stay there until my mother came home from work. So I was always inside of a barbershop.
So you learned to cut hair from watching your older brother?
I guess I always looked up to my older brother. Like, he's a great guy, I always looked up to him, so I literally would sit in the barbershop with him for hours after school, not unknowingly, just watching and watching and watching. And then sometimes I would go home and emulate, like act like I'm cutting hair and make believe, as crazy as that sounds.
Wow.
But,
was there any other barbers within the neighborhood you was inspired by other than your brother? Because at the time you were probably cutting hair. You had like Leroy's, Carburn, Charlie's, and West Brighton.
Yeah, so that's good you brought that up, because I lived across the street from Leroy, from Clyburn's.
Wow.
So if you don't know, Clyburn's was a older gentleman's barbershop, black barbershop.
Real barbershop.
Real barbershop, like real deal barbershop. Go in, take a ticket, and wait. None of the appointment stuff and this and that. But he had his younger sons working in there. At the time when I was going, his younger sons weren't cutting hair at the time. I was going because my father knew Irvin, and he would send me over there, go see Irvin and get a haircut.
Irvin.
Yeah, that's how far back. Yeah.
So Leroy and Doug wasn't cutting hair at the time?
Not at that time, because
and Bumpsy.
yeah, no, not at that time. It was just the brothers. I think there was like 3 brothers that were cutting in there, and maybe Irvin. I don't think Irvin's related to the Clyburns, but it was all the older Clyburns that were working in there. Once again, I'm going back to when I'm like 8 or 9 years old, 10 years old, you know. So, but I lived directly across the street from the meeting place.
Yes.
So, so it was my house, the meeting place, and then the barbershop. So
is it safe to say that in addition to your brother, this played a significant part of that growth? Because Clyburn never legend.
Yeah, I always, it was a very small business, you know that, right? Like in size, it was small.
Yes.
But they serviced everywhere. And there wasn't a lot of barbershops. It's not like now where there's barbershops on every corner. This was like one barbershop in New Brighton, then the next one we had to go probably to West Brighton to go to get a haircut, or go all the way to Stapleton. There wasn't as many barbershops at that time.
That is a fact, that's true.
Yeah. And they were very popular. They were very popular.
Well, they were known to do, first and foremost, I mean, the only barber, Leroy and Doug.
Yeah. Once I'm going back before them though, so.
Before.
So by the time Leroy and Doug came out, I wasn't even living in that same place, and I wasn't going to the barbershop no more because my brother had started cutting hair by then.
Wow. So I remember now your brother. Let's not forget him, James. Right?
Yeah.
James used to be my barber.
Yes. Yeah. So my brother, I think at the same time when Leroy and Doug came out, they were the first wave of young barbers, I think, on Staten Island.
They was.
I can't.
Back then, barbers was.
Yeah, it was usually the guy was older, 40 and up, the barbers. But at a certain point, I believe Doug, Leroy, and my brother Jay were the youngest. I had to be. Yeah, there's nobody else. I don't even. If anybody knows different, correct me. But from what I know, my brother was at D's. He was young, and then at Clyburn's, Doug and Leroy had it locked. They were young.
Talking young, like still in high school.
Yeah. Yep.
That's true. So that was the beginning of the trend. So you figured that was early '90s, late '80s.
Yes. Yep. Exactly. Yeah.
So a barber was no more just walking in with the barber button shirt. With the little swirling thing outside.
Nah, these guys were younger.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Nah.
Okay, so that definitely changed. Do you feel that you were acknowledged enough that you were part of this growth? Because you noticed this and you jumped in at the age of 15 years old, I believe.
Yeah. What do you mean, like?
I think you jumped in. Let's just put it this way. I remember your brother told me, "Yo, this is my little brother here. He cut your hair. You cut my hair from that day," and that's going back. I ain't gonna be real ages here, but I was going back when I had a high top Gumby fade.
Yeah.
And you cut my hair, and I still was in high school. So you had to pretty much be. You're younger than me, so let's just say, for the lack of words, the bottom line is you were part of this regime of being younger, the younger barber. I believe you was the youngest barber that cut my hair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably, definitely. I remember you coming in. Yeah, definitely.
So, did you notice a difference now? Now you fast forward today. Are there still legendary older barbers in the shops anymore?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because I don't see them.
The majority of them are with us. You know, like dudes that really got history on Staten Island anyway. They're with us. They're the real definition of a barber. Like, they got over 20 years in. They're barbers. They don't do any other thing. They don't have no other side hustles. Then, they're real barbers.
This is what they do.
Yeah.
Now, you said real barbers. Something that you brought, I felt that you brought to the borough. You were doing designs at the age. You were doing razor cuts. I used to go to Harlem and get my razor cut because nobody knew how to do it in blowouts.
Yeah.
And then I noticed you started doing razor cuts with a straight edge razor.
Yeah.
With the beard and everything.
So I didn't know about cutting with a razor. I always heard you had to practice with a balloon and stuff with shaving cream. I never did it.
With a balloon?
I heard this. I've just always heard stories about people using razors. So I hired a guy by the name of Corey, and he was Trinidadian. This is the first time I seen somebody use a razor in front of me. This is about 2000. Maybe 2005.
Indian looking dude?
No. Corey, he was dark skinned. He drove trucks part time and he cut hair.
Okay.
Came straight from Trinidad, but he was the first person I seen put a razor and a stick and do the shape up with a razor. At this time, remember, there's no Spanish barbers, there's no Dominican barbers, on Staten Island anyway. So I've never seen nobody use a razor. Up until that point, your clippers really just had to be really sharp to get those type of lines.
Now, when you seen that, of course, that was a game changer because I was getting razor cuts. They was using razor on mine in the early 90s.
But you was going to Harlem.
I was going to
You was driving uptown, so Staten Island didn't have that. That's a fact. I know that. There wasn't a lot of, like, they weren't using razors.
Now they are.
Now everybody. If you can't use a razor, you pretty much you're pretty much you know, out the game.
Okay, but you made it more popular.
What, using a razor?
Using a razor in your barber, because now, because I remember if you seen the Trinidadian guy Corey, shout out to Corey.
Yeah.
You perfected that the same way how you watch something else, but you don't think that there's a mode of you. Who would you give the credit to?
With the razors on Staten Island, I mean, the West Indians I think came before the Spanish with the razors. A lot of West Indians was using the razors. And at the time, I had about 2 or 3 guys working for me that were West Indian, and I learned it from them.
Okay.
I definitely learned it from the West Indians.
So the West Indians, that's true, because a lot of Dominicans are doing the razors.
Yeah, but once again, on Staten Island, there's not a lot of Spanish barbers at that time.
No.
Victory Boulevard is where I'm at, my business, and you don't have VIP, you don't have these other Dominican barbershops, and they're not there yet.
No, they're not.
No, it's mostly, it's us, Supreme Clientele, Land of Shaolin, Forever, yeah.
You named, did they ever work in your shop?
Supreme Clientele, at one time I worked for Mo and Sean.
Shout out to Mo, yeah.
Mo's a legend on Staten Island for barbering.
He didn't start in your shop?
No way, no way. I worked for him. He opened Land of Shaolin, and I left Roots and Culture for about 4 or 5 months and went over there to cut at Land of Shaolin.
Roots and Culture wasn't your shop?
No, that's Adisa Mangin's barbershop.
That's Adisa shop. Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Shout out to Adisa.
Shout out to Adisa. So when you worked at Supreme Clientele, that was first thing you worked at Roots and Culture. When did you open up your own?
No. I didn't work. I worked at Roots and Culture first.
First, and then Supreme Clientele?
But before that, I worked at D's.
D's, right, that's why I met you.
Yeah, because my brother worked at D's.
Yes.
And he basically, I wasn't really officially a barber yet. Like I cut my friend's hair. And then my brother went to Desert Storm, Operation Desert Storm, that's the Army.
Oh, damn.
He was in the Army, so he got drafted.
Salute for your services, huh?
Yeah, so my brother Jay basically said, listen, you're gonna come here and work and take care of my customers. So I already, he kind of threw me in the mix. And I really wasn't able to, like I wasn't at that time, I wasn't a professional barber at that time. I worked with Kazoo, Eric, Hakeem. Yeah. I go way, way back with barbering, man. That's the thing. Like,
there's a lot of light-skinned barbers back.
Yeah, there's something about light-skinned barbers. Right?
Now the thing is, light-skinned barbers, biracial barbers, all the above. Was you accustomed to cutting non-black people's hair the same way?
The crazy thing, some of my first customers, all of my first customers were black, right? But I had a couple of Guyanese friends. One of my best friends, Raymond, him and his brother, Lawrence, their hair was straight, straighter than a white person's hair.
Yes.
So the first time cutting them, I really
worked hard.
No, I messed them up. You know what I'm saying? But they would keep coming back to me because the haircut was free. It was my friends, you know?
Oh,
so
right.
I end up really getting good with straight hair through them at first.
You learned that through them?
Yeah, through them, yeah.
So now that's how come, because you have a significant...
Everybody else was black and was getting the flat tops and the fades and stuff. It was nobody really in the hood had straight hair. You know, you might get a Spanish kid. Once again, it's not a lot of Spanish people in a black neighborhood back then. You got one Spanish family, 2 Spanish families, but I was cutting them, but I wasn't doing it enough to to really become nice at cutting with straight hair. At that point.
Well, their hair looked like it was silky and
yeah, one false move and it's yeah, that's it.
So now, with that being said, you had all these different customs, different cultures. Roots and culture, was that significant to the motive you cutting these different dialects of hair?
All right, so I come from D's originally. That's the first shop I ever, well, the first professional shop I ever worked in.
Right.
I go there, I'm cutting hair there. Adisa opens Roots and Culture. Tyreek, who owns Richmond Hood, is good friends with Adisa. He's working with me in D's. He said, I'm going over here to work. And I know Tyreek was really on a good path, so I wanted to go where he was going. I go over there with him. I start working with Mo Bella,
right.
Mozart. He is going to school in New York. So he's cutting some of his high school friends from New York, which happen to be white Caucasian. So this is my first experience is seeing white people, seeing real white people inside of a black barbershop. And I'm seeing Mo.
Shout out to Mo.
Yeah, Mo, definitely. Mo is the first person, cutting, all the way from New York,
I never knew that.
Yeah, because you got to remember, in New York, they got the guy, the real traditional barber with the scissor, the barber jacket. Yeah. So now they see the haircuts that the younger guys are getting in New York high school or whatever. They seeing the brothers getting the designs. They say, oh, I want to go over there. So now they're going to Mo. So Mo is the first person I seen cutting Caucasian hair inside of a black barbershop. Wow. Roots and Culture.
Because I noticed a lot of white dudes will have black-inspired haircuts. They give credit. I'm like, white women don't give the same credit to black women. But that's another story.
Yeah, you're gonna be in trouble, yeah.
I don't take it disrespectfully if I see a white dude.
Actually, there was just a football player who his haircut became famous because he was getting a haircut by a brother. You remember that story?
Oh yeah.
I don't watch sports that much like that, but I noted the guy they were calling it this special kind of haircut, but meanwhile, white dudes been getting this haircut from brothers, already for the minute, but they just took notice to it.
They do shows love for. I mean, for us to embrace them is for them to be accepted. So to them to be accepted, that means they're cool. The white dude is cool. That means we think he's cool because we give him the card, whatever.
Yeah.
But you growing up having a white parent and a black parent, did you ever go through that mode of so-called racism? Any disrespect from being black and not black enough? I don't think you did, but was it ever?
No, in the neighborhood, people were always like shocked that my mother was white. Because like I said, it wasn't multiracial in Jersey Street or New Brighton at that time.
Are you a Drake fan or are you a Kendrick Lamar fan?
Oh, I'm going with Kendrick, baby.
Oh shit! Oh damn!
They not like us. I mean, you always, you don't have to pick a side, cause you can identify with both sides and see like this. I do feel pressure though. I do. Yeah, like when people ask you, they automatically assume that you're gonna
say Drake.
Drake, yeah, but that it's not the case. I pick which music I like better. But growing up, I would be the neighborhood barber who nobody really paid attention to my race. Majority of people think I'm Spanish, but then when they see my mother is an Irish lady, then they like, wow, wait, that's your mother?
Yeah,
oh, okay. Yeah. It throw people off, but never to the effect where,
You never faced any racism?
No. I mean, some people, that you always have the stigma of light skin and soft and whatever that, but it ain't nothing like. I'm not on it like that, so I ain't.
I don't think you did. You was respected in the hood, though.
Yeah, I had a respect for what I did, the haircut, and I never really was like on no rah stuff. But I seen it. It's a real thing. I'm not going to say that it's not.
Before YouTube, let them know this. Before YouTube, this has been a real thing with the biracial.
Yeah, biracial stereotype, that's definitely a real thing.
Did they ever call you a half white boy? Did you ever get teased in high school, middle school?
Not really. My first experience is probably after after high school, I had a kid at a young age, and I used to run and pick him up and then drop him to the daycare center. And I had these kids from St. Peter's. We were having like road rage argument, and you know, just jawing back and forth each other. And these kids could have been no more than like 17, 18, probably got their mother's car or whatever. And one kid, and this is my first experience, this is when I realized that I was a black man. Like really 100% realized what racism is, and I was a black man. The kid jumped out the car and was like, "What's your problem, nigga?" And I was like, and it just blew me away. It stopped me in my tracks. Yeah, I was over by Clove Lakes too, like yeah. And it just, I was like, wow, I never experienced that. And by that time, I'm 20 years old, you know.
What did your mother say?
No, my mother wasn't there. I was driving my son to the daycare.
Did you ever tell your mother about it?
No. I never told her. It was just something that I kept to myself and was like, wow, this is really real. I mean, to this day, it's clear as day how it happened, you know?
Male influences throughout all this, dealing with racism, becoming an entrepreneur, is it safe to say that James, your oldest brother, was your biggest male influence to introduce you into the world?
100%. My brother was everything to me. Or he's still everything to me, but at that time he was very influential on me. Because he was the coolest dude in the world. He was the top barber. Nobody was doing what he was doing in the barber game. He was the first one drawing designs and stuff. So people would always call me Jay by accident, or just say, hey, you know, just always referring to my brother.
Now, what about your dad in your life? Pretty much was.
Yeah, my dad was in my life. My mother and father were together. My father was a hardworking man. Never took a day off of work, you know, just a hardworking guy.
Did your father teach you how to be a black man?
No, you know what? I come from a different era where the parents just always worked. And by the time he came home, he was so tired. He had a plate of food on the stove. He ate his food and watched TV and went to sleep and got up, and the next morning went back to work. It wasn't too much conversation. You know, he was like a disciplinary, you know, if you wait till your dad gets home, that type of thing, you know. It wasn't necessarily
nah. In regards to teaching about women, life.
No. That's the crazy thing now that I look back. I was like wow, you know, these things I have to provide for my kids now, because back then is a different era, and you just, as a parent, my dad was just working, and then come home, eat his food, get up super early, go back to work.
Wow.
My mother had more of the personality.
Did your mother pretty much fill that void that was?
Oh yeah. My mother was a sweet lady. Yeah, sweet lady. But once again, it wasn't too much talking about where you're gonna go work or what you're gonna do, or you're black or you're white. It wasn't those type of conversations.
She never let you know that you was black and white. Or black.
It never really came up. It was like the elephant in the room, right?
Oh,
like nobody ever really. Everybody that came in my house was black.
Yeah, basically.
My cousins and stuff.
Like a white
yes, and everybody knows my mother knows that. But I do, so I do have a very small family on her side. Her side of the family is not big as my father's side, but I didn't meet my father's side till later, damn near after he passed. So my mother had a small family of white people, and I would see them here and there. Not enough to know and associate with them all the time, but it was always love, you know what I'm saying? So I was mostly surrounded by black people.
So you learned basically your blackness just with your environment.
Yeah, yep.
Nobody, is there anything significant that your father taught you that you remember?
No, I didn't look at my father, once again, I didn't look at my father as he was a black man and my mother was white. It was just, he was always working. He came home, he wanted to play the food and dessert and watch sports, and that's it. That was it.
Wow. So now
he's a very hard-working man. So
now you have a few children.
Yeah, I have 3.
You have 3.
Yeah.
How old is your oldest?
My oldest is 30.
30. You got a 30, so you had just did something extremely young.
Yeah, I had him at 16.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay, so now, do you find yourself, now that you have children, now that whatever your father didn't do in regards to the teaching modes, do you do that more, or do you find yourself kind of like lacking it because you haven't been taught?
I do lack it. I do lack it because, once again, I'm like my dad. I'm a workaholic. I work 7 days a week. I work from 7 sometimes in the morning until 7 at night, 8 at night. So I work a lot of hours. I deal with volume. I work a lot of hours, you know what I'm saying?
You took that after him?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Even though we were in different, my father worked for like Shearson and Lehman, so it's not that he wasn't a barber.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, they end up turning into some, yeah.
Yeah, I used to work at Shearson and Lehman back in the day with Fat Boy Fred, you know what?
So I'll give you an example. When my father passed, I found some stuff that, you know, in his things, and they had gave him an award because in 28 years he never took a day off. Yeah, he never took a day off. That was that one job for 28 years. That's at Shearson Lehman before I think they changed and turned it to American Express or something else, but he never took a day off in 28 years. Yeah. Yeah. So
do you see that instilled through your son?
Do my son do that now? Yeah, my son.
Son and daughters, right?
Yeah, my son's an iron worker now for the past year. But even before that, he had jobs, and he's pretty much a workaholic too. Like, just constantly at work, go home, go to sleep, get back out on the grind. You know.
Well, and then you have a little one now, so you have daughters. Yeah. When do you see the transition now, being a father and to the daughters?
So my daughter, and this is the scariest part, my 19-year-old is probably more like me than any of my kids. Yeah.
Now, I'm a workaholic too.
Not even that a workaholic, but she does nails.
Okay.
So she started nails probably, she's 19 now, so she's probably like 17, 16. She started doing nails. And I seen her popularity grow in doing nails so fast, like the same way that I did with the barbering.
Oh, okay, so that same story of how she got into entrepreneurism is how you got.
Yeah, and I see the growth. Like it's not like she just does nails on the side. Like she's doing nails at a level that she should. She probably too young to be doing it at now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Well,
where's she out of? She's in New York, or
well, she was in New York for probably, you know, up until now, but she just recently moved to Georgia. So she's in Georgia now, Atlanta, Georgia. And she's still doing nails, you know.
You think it's better for her here?
I would love to have her here, but you know, her mother had a job opportunity in Georgia, so.
Okay.
But I think it's good for her though because of the way like black enterprise is in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? The way people support each other out there in business.
So now that has rolled into the children. That's a great thing. And the little one, she's a little too young for that right now.
Yeah.
But can you say throughout all this right now, granted, you know, the provider, or do you still consider yourself a provider? Do you see yourself as a provider, or do you see yourself as a dad? Or a father?
With my kids, just in general, a provider or a dad. I'm leaning more towards the dad part now because I'm getting older. I'm 48 now. So I do try to like make time for stuff that I didn't make time for in the past, you know, where I would say, hey, just, you know, I can't make it. I'll see you guys. But
conversation.
Now I find myself taking off of work and making those. Yeah, because some of that stuff you ain't gonna get back. You know, the time and the memories you ain't gonna get back.
Now, when you're doing beards now, that this look can last for one day.
Oh yeah, everything.
You find yourself, has that changed? Like, is that still the impression of a straight man, or is that the impression of you know, the gay community has seemed to take that over basically?
Yeah, I don't even think it's like gay or straight or whatever, you know, whatever, how you identify. I think it's the fact that everything is like, take a photo, Instagram. I want it to look as perfect as possible. I've seen people, you know, they get temporary stuff, sprays and dyes and stuff like that, just so they could take the pictures, you know.
Just for the picture.
More customers are asking you after you cut the hair, could you use my phone and take a picture of me? Like right on the spot, they want that picture right there. So we live in that world now, Instagram, where everything gotta be super sharp and super perfect.
Well, you know what, I just did a video about this because I was saying, I'm guilty to say, but I've seen dudes, when you see these dudes start talking to you two with a perfect beard and all that, most of the time, they part of the lifestyle. Because the straight man doesn't usually have his beard like that 7 days a week. Yeah,
I personally, I did my hair now because I was coming on hair. I don't really like to look perfect. It's not, you know, that's just my preference. I like to look a little disheveled all the time. People know, they see me all the time. My hair's never done. My beard's never shaped up. I'm not, you know. I like that look better than super duper. I feel like it brings too much attention to me when everything is perfect.
Just eyebrows, all the above.
Yeah, no.
Have you seen a customer that has makeup on his face?
Yeah.
Man?
Yeah, definitely.
Makeup.
Listen, those sprays, that's makeup. Those sprays and that stuff, the chalk line and all that stuff, that's man makeup. It's temporary. When he go home that night and take a shower, it's off, face off. Now, all right, here you go, right? I had cut a customer that was he was going to be in a wedding party, and he had blemishes. And you probably see it more, the Spanish light-skinned guy. They will put cover-up or concealer on pimples.
No.
Yeah, that's common, very common. Very common.
It's strict male.
Very common, yes. Very common.
You don't look at that any different.
I see everything now, and you know, who is not for me to question.
I got you.
You know.
Wow. So, are you noticing now that more men? So, is that grooming? What is grooming now? Because now it seems as if the well-groomed man is the gay man, and the guy that kind of keeps his rough is the straight guy.
That's a false, yeah.
Okay.
Because now I see a lot of gay dudes with big beards. Everything else is super manicure, but they got this big beard. It's a matter of preference.
Oh, so the beard is sloppy?
It's sloppy, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I've seen that.
So I thought it was when their beards are perfect.
Everything is now what not supposed, like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever your perception of things is now, they flip it. They put it on its back, like. You know, it's very common, you know what I'm saying? Like, to see people mixing and matching different styles, you know?
What do you see now with the middle-aged man that is balding or...
The tattooing.
Gray hair, what do you...
Tattooing and dyeing of the hair. You know, if their hair is falling out, they get micropigmentation. That's when they tattoo the line.
Tattoo the line?
Or when your beard is gray, they put the dye on the beard, the black... You know.
Now the dye on the beard, what's this myth?
That's common.
You putting the dye on it gets whiter. Is that true?
It seems like it.
Oh,
I said it seems like it.
Okay, I did hear that.
Because I've done it. But you know what it is? I think you start stripping that stuff all has chemicals in it. I think it starts to strip your hair down, you know?
What?
Yeah. And it's not good for your skin. There's allergic reactions, all kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So you would not suggest... What do you suggest a man to color his beard? For pictures?
I don't even suggest it. Like,
wow.
It's a chemical, you put it on your face. I've used it. You know what I tell people? If your beard is longer where it's not sitting on your face, and you could apply it where the chemical is not really going on your skin, then you can get away with it. So in other words, if you're gonna dye your beard, you should have it longer so that the chemical is not sitting on your face.
Right, okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, don't do it, you have a 5 o'clock shadow and you dyeing it.
That's just not...
It's not, that's really temporary because the hair is gonna grow out the gray anyway, so.
So you would suggest, okay, that's heavy.
Yeah.
So Are men, do you notice a lot of men balding at a younger age, or is this something that
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
younger?
Yeah, definitely.
What do you do? What is your thing?
You got to remember too, they're using a lot more stuff, more chemicals, more this, more that. They're using way more stuff than, you know, than back in the days. So now keep spraying that black stuff. Your hair can't be liking that to, you know, for you to, your hair is gonna break down. Spraying chemicals, you know.
Wow.
That's what I think. I see a lot of young kids, they want everything to look super shape up, super sharp, so they're going more often, they're using more chemicals, more this and that, and it makes your hair fall out at the end of the day. That's what I think.
Now, you're speaking trendsetter points here, so could you look at a man, no Diddy, and say, you know, this is what you should do. Could you look at every individual and know what the...
Oh, yeah, that's what I do all day for my job. That's what I do.
You can tell...
I can only recommend certain things. I can't, you know...
Can't tell, but you could recommend something that will fit there.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
And that means you can see something on them that's not good.
And try to work around it, yeah.
Interesting. Okay,
Try to work around it.
Are you taking the title of trendsetter? Because it seems like you downplay it.
No, I mean, you know, like I don't want to be. I'm not like, you know.
Yeah,
I'm not on it like that.
Well, this is from my perception, personally.
Okay.
My perception is I've noticed a lot of people that you have launched. You have, you know, listen, you cut celebrities' hairs and you don't even trip and talk about it.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people don't know. Well, I'm gonna say it. You correct me if I'm wrong, but you're probably behind Method Man's shape up of his beard more than any barber in the world. You have physically done that, and that's his famous trademark. Would you suggest Method Man to have that same beard, for example, before I go on to what I'm saying, with gray versus dyed?
No, because he's acting, so he has to put this perception on, right? Like, or he's presenting a certain look, and if you see it now, the beard is a little longer.
Right.
It's not low, and he's dyeing it, and I think he uses all natural stuff too. From what my last conversation with him about it was, he tries to get stuff without the pneumonia in it. Even Fat Joe right now, he has a product out. Rewind is called.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Where all the harmful chemicals are not in it. But supposedly with those products, they don't work as good as the
ones with the harmful.
Yeah. I've dyed my beard before.
I did it a couple times. You did mine once.
I've dyed my beard, but every time I get irritated, so.
Is Method Man's beard better this way? Or the way, like, if it was you doing it, like, he was in your chair, what would you do?
So when I was cutting his hair, he would dye his own beard. He had it down packed. He had the Just for Men, and he would do his own thing. He had it down packed. So I would shave him, shape him up, and then he would, before whatever he got to do, he would dye it himself. He always did a good job.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was shorter? It was shorter?
The beard was shorter. The beard was shorter.
Okay.
But he always ran the risk of getting irritated.
Right.
He has very sensitive skin.
Uncle Jay actually has a beard like that.
I've never seen him with
it. The same cut as Max.
No, I've never seen it with it.
So I say all that to say, you play these modes that trendsetted from celebrities. Redman, you cut his hair too?
Yeah, I've cut Redman's hair.
So you cut?
I've cut Ghostface. I've cut Raekwon.
Okay.
I've cut RZA. I've shaped up Allen Iverson.
Right.
Who else? A couple other people, you know.
Okay, now with that being said, you also had a significant amount of barbers that worked under you. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I call you the Fat Joe of the game, no pun intended. Because I feel as if Fat Joe or Lil Wayne of the game, you know what I'm saying? These are individuals. There's only a few people that actually put people on in the sense of having a good eye. I think Jay-Z got a good eye. I think Lil Wayne has a good eye. And I definitely feel Fat Joe. These are individuals that just know star power. So you look at a barber, they come into your barbershop, do you give them the intention of staying there, or do you push them to be in competition with you to open up another barbershop next door?
Obviously, that's not the goal, but so you
That's what it seems like.
yeah. So it took me this amount of years to realize you don't want to be around people that are not progressive, right? You don't want to be around people that are just like, all right, I'm happy with what's going on, right? You want to be around progressive people. The thing with progressive people is that they want to be progressive, so they want to go to the next level. So you have them in a short window. You have a short window with them. So you got to make the best of it in that short window. It might be, most of the time I see progressive people probably 5 to 8 years, and then they figure it out and they want to go and do.
Yeah, but if you're a landlord, would you want a tenant that's going to be there for 3 months? Or you want a tenant that's going to make their home and be there for some years?
Yeah, but you don't want a tenant that ain't doing, like, ain't progressive, ain't going.
I mean, upon it,
yeah.
Do you want a short term? Because there's not too many businesses, even in, let's go with real estate, with commercial. They don't want to shine a lease of 2 years. They want you to be there for 10, 15, 20 years.
Yeah, but you're talking about 5 to 8 years, and that 5 to 8 years, you know how much business we've done in 5 to 8 years?
Well,
like I said, I'm not rooting for them to leave. I'm just saying this is the natural progression. This is what happens.
Right, but so do you feel that worked against you? Because the fact, from my perspective, it seems like you hire these people that had all these incredible dreams, and then they go out and get car wrap businesses, barbershop businesses.
Yeah.
I've seen people that open up barbershops probably next door to me.
Yeah, I probably had over shit, because now I've been in business now. It's going on 25 years.
25 years?
Yeah, I've been on business 25. Thank you, brother. Thank you. So out of the 25 years, I've probably seen about 15 people go on to open their own barbershops.
Open their own barbershops or be your competition?
Both. Both, you know?
Okay, so do you feel that you see the good in people?
What do you, I don't understand.
In other words, I'm panning off a conversation I had recently, right? When you see a barber, do you see the good or do you see the bad? In other words, the bad is not a great thing if somebody's sitting here plotting and using your platform.
You see, that's different. If somebody's plotting, that's different. Now, I take it 2 different ways, right? I could take it, I've had people come and work with me and start with ground zero. They don't know anything about cutting hair or running a business or any of that.
And I see you teach them.
Not even me sitting there teaching. I'm not going to say like I'm the greatest teacher and I'm just teaching people, but just.
But you did have a school.
Yeah, at one point but from being around each other and working and growing and learning, those are the best ways that you want to see somebody leave.
Okay.
All right, so there could be 2 ways. So that somebody start with 0 intelligence about barbering or about running a business,
under your platform,
and it's like, wow, damn, I seen this person grow from 0 to 60, right? So now, and then there's other people who intentionally come to use you, watch what you're doing, figure it, or think they have it figured out, and then apply it, and then possibly reach back and you know.
Is that loyalty?
Nah, that's not loyalty.
Okay, what is loyalty in
all right, I can give you 2 different examples, right? I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm saying that personally happened to me.
Okay.
All right. I had a guy. I don't want to put people's name, but one guy, Henry, right? Yeah, that's actually his name because he left on a good note. So Henry was there for me in the beginning when I first opened. He was a good barber, very young though. Came up, worked with me for about 5 to 6 years, figured it out, opened his own place. When he left, he didn't try to take anything from me, none of that. All right? He wanted to build his own. He started with 0. Then I've had other people that have came to me, work with me for a couple of years, try to take staff, try to take all this stuff and apply it to their own situation and then try to crap on me.
Wow.
So it's two different things. I can deal with somebody leaving and being progressive.
Yeah, I'm going to get another job.
Nothing wrong with that. It's just when people, you know, and this has always been the case, Coy. Like, I've been in business for 25 years. I've, you know, I've had both sides.
Right. And you do so much for the community. You do so much for the borough. You bring, you know, there's no division there. You bring women in there to work. You got the kids. You do things for kids in the neighborhood and the communities. I mean, there's a lot going on. I feel that you kind of hold that in.
I definitely. But what are you going to do? You got to keep the ball going, you know? You got to keep the ball going. Yeah.
Are you gonna, but how do you know the next time not to make the next? How do you know?
You know what? And I struggle with this all the time. I'm never going to stop being, I've decided that I'm never going to stop being me. Because once they make you change who you are, that's the problem, you know? So as long as I keep, because I'm blessed. It's not like, and the other day I was thinking too, I was like, you know, you could think about stuff that been done to you or people steal from you or do this and that. But you really got to look back and look at the big picture. If you're blessed, then, you know, I'm blessed. I don't know how I am where I'm at today. I'm blessed.
They always say that, you know, never worry about the things that you can change, just change it, right? How do you know not to put yourself in a position? Now, I could say this, I don't know if you want to talk about it, but I seen something recent. You was going hardcore with this particular partner, all in the newspapers, all getting mad. I see you get more publicity in more years with this particular individual than anything. You guys were rocking and rolling, masseuse, nails going on with your daughter. You know, just a lot. You got a new location since 2018. Things have been well. Thank you for asking for my advice when you was getting that building. And now this person disappears. And I happen to be rolling through the neighborhood and I see I see this one location closed down. It used to be a brothel. I mean, I can say
a brothel. Yeah.
It was a brothel, and now all of a sudden now it's a barbershop slash, I guess, masseuse or male massaging. I just had to ask. I'm like, oh, you and this person still doing work together? And
nah.
I mean, how does that happen? A partnership go to that?
That's the thing. It was never a partnership, but we had understanding. You know, we had understanding.
What kind of communication was the understanding that allowed that? Because I don't see any good in this, so maybe you have to correct me.
Well, how can I say? If, like, while doing business, you meet somebody, everything's clicking, everything's going good, you have an understanding, you do want to grow the business a certain way, you're both in agreement. And then one person wants to do their own thing. That's the only way I could probably. You
don't think that's a problem?
Once again,
you know what I'm saying? That's called. It's like, that's why people don't like to hire people that's overqualified.
Why? Why?
Because they're a threat. They're going to leave.
Yeah, I never looked at it like that.
You said that you want to be around progressive people. Kind of reminds me when people say to be around positive people. You want to be around positive people. You know.
No, progressive ain't always positive. Okay. It's not always positive. It's just people that always want to do more and do better, you know?
Okay. So that's what you want in your people that you hire?
I mean...
Or don't you just want somebody that's basically...
I don't want to hire a bunch of...
to you and loyal to you?
Once again, I've been in this business 25 years. It's either you progressive people, they come into your thing for a certain amount of time and then they move on, you know, to be more progressive.
Was your partner that stood by and did all these moves from this understanding, was she progressive? In your opinion, what was she? Because I don't think that's...
No, I mean, and you get me with these... I don't think progressive, like now in hindsight, right? In hindsight, now that I look back at it, it's not really progressive. It was like, all right, I'm gonna take what I could take out of here and create my own thing.
I love the Lil Wayne humbleness. I love the Fat Joe humbleness. I love when people are behind people and they become bigger and they just stay low key about it. Because you don't see Wayne talking about Drake or Lil.
Yeah.
Now he just be laying low. You're kind of doing the same thing here, right? So the progressive. Do you think your downfall is looking for people that are progressive when, if you're the boss and you're the leader and you're in charge, that's all the progressive they need?
No, nah. And look, like you said, it's not really a downfall because I'm blessed, right? Like I'm not.
Progressive with this ability to do what you
Yeah, I'm blessed. I'm 25 years and, you know.
Right, but you want somebody to be your boss at your own business.
Do I want somebody to be my own boss at my business? No. But you do want to be around people that take initiative and they move forward and they, you know,
Is that realistic?
Yeah.
It's not realistic.
I think it is.
Let me tell you something why it's not realistic.
Not for people to, like, I have relationships with people, maybe.
You don't want to hire no complete loser.
All right, after 25 years, maybe 2 people that I could say really fucking screwed me, you know what I'm saying, in leaving.
I think I'm
maybe 2. Maybe 2.
The dude, I can say his name. The dude Jose, the Puerto Rican dude that looked black.
I didn't even think about him, but that's fun. Maybe 3.
That was a little extra there.
Yeah, I mean.
And then I remember the girl. This one that you were doing all this publicity.
Yeah, I went through it with John too. That had Forever Fridays. He had Forever Fridays across the street from 61, IS 61.
Yes. Okay, so were these progressive people or were they opportunists?
They're very.
You understand where I'm coming from?
No, yeah, and you're right. You know, and it's easy for you to say that. I don't want to say that. You know, opportunist, because I just know this is how it works.
You can't hire an opportunist for what you do. You're too progressive.
You know what it is? It keeps the ball rolling for another 5 years.
Unless you're looking for somebody to take over, God forbid you ever want to leave.
Yeah.
You know, you need employees.
Yeah, so you were saying, like, I never even thought about what you said, never hire overqualified people. I don't even look at it like that. I look at it like I want the best talent around me.
I did it recently when my man was getting a bus driver job. Before he got the job, he was desperate.
Okay.
He was level. The minute he came in there with the training outfit, he was like, "Yo, I'll meet you there." And I'm like, should have jumped that whole uniform's gonna destroy this job today. I knew it. And you know what he did? It did. Because now he's not comfortable. It's like working in new sneakers. You couldn't go out and work in no fresh sneakers. You're gonna feel I can't drive in certain sneakers.
Yeah.
Right? He meets me at the job and he's watching his clothing. He's watching everything, and then at the end he complains, "Oh man, I thought you said that was it." Thank God 2 weeks later he just got in. So he got into MTA, that's great. The point of the matter is he could never come back. Yo, you good this weekend?
But the mission is complete, right? He's a better person now. He leaned on you for a certain point, and he's became a better person.
Right, but I wouldn't put myself in a position.
It didn't necessarily tear your business down.
No, he didn't, but he...
That's where I have the problem.
Right.
If you tearing me down to do that, then it's a problem. Because like I said, I've had people leave me and open up their own places, and it's never been a problem. I've thrown, like, going away.
You inspire for people to open up.
I don't inspire.
Right.
Like, it's not the top of my priority for you to go and leave and do your own thing.
Okay.
But if you do it, and you do it in a fashion where you're not taking nothing away from me, and our couple of years that you were with me is a blessing to me and you, then it's good.
Well, that means if they open up a barber, let's say on the other side of the borough, far away from you, 7-10 miles, because you know Dunkin' Donuts, you can't open up within 2 miles of it.
Yeah, there's like a clause.
Something like that, right? There's a closure in there. What if that person's on the other side of the borough and they're taking the white customers you got?
No, I mean, nah. Like I said, here's a new era. So this is what I don't like, right? I don't like the Instagram era where people are trolling.
Okay.
Right? Like, you know, you finding a way to digitally troll me from wherever you're at. That's the part I don't like.
Give an example of something like that. I didn't know.
I had a guy, like this guy literally was homeless. He was on drugs. He worked with me for a couple of years, in and out, in and out, in and out. And I literally gave him machines to work with. I've paid him money to sleep in a hotel and this and that. And then he goes work somewhere else and makes it look like I'm the bad guy.
On top of that.
Yeah, on top of that.
Not even giving you that credit. He trying to make you like the bad guy.
Yeah, well, you know, like whatever, you know.
Okay, so what made you do that for him?
Just because I'm interested in people doing their best when they're working with me.
Okay.
All right. So like anybody, if you could get,
when they work,
you might be able to get one person that could probably come and say something bad about me that they work with me.
Right.
Maybe one person. That's not bad out of 25 years.
So, has there been something you want to clear up? What has been the worst thing you heard about Sean White, proprietor, business owner for 25 years of Against the Grain? This is right. What is the worst thing you heard that you want to clear the air?
I don't think it's like I heard anything. It's just more so like, oh, I don't support them. Like you're not supporting me while I'm doing my thing. Like, listen. Once you step out that door, you open your own business, you're on your own. We don't have to be enemies, but it's business at the end of the day. So I agree with you on that point.
Right.
Where it's business. I'm not gonna, what, you want me to sit there and send customers over to you? I don't understand. I'm never gonna talk bad about you. You know, there's been instances where people have left and I've never talked bad about them. You know, I might be even really feeling some kind of way, but I've never vocalized it, you know what I'm saying?
Right, you never do.
Nah, I'm not gonna do that.
So do you feel that you have a soft place in your heart enough that, do you want people to be good workers or do you want to push people to expand their business as a barber and open up a shop? Be honest, like straight up. Like,
no,
are you looking for good workers or are you looking for, because one is an opportunist and one is going to look for loyalty.
I think
one is looking for a home. Excuse me, a home.
No, that's a hard question to ask.
You understand?
That's a really hard question to ask. But like I said, I've always come into this with thinking that you're only there for a small window. Because
why can't they be there for the long haul? Like I'm looking for a home.
Because nothing's forever.
Right.
What are you thinking, you guys?
Your home is forever. Even when you pass away, it's still your home. Yeah, you still. God forbid, you know, I don't like to talk about death like this, but they're still going to call you. If you were born somewhere, you're still going to be part of that motive. You know.
No, I have people that have left, and I still consider them. Adisa is a perfect example. I worked for Adisa.
Right.
I left him after so many years. I opened my own place. Right. He still got love for me. I got love for him. He literally could come in my shop and say, I got to cut somebody's hair. Yeah. And it's no problem.
That's dope. That's dope. Well, that's his home. Right? So native, what did you say, you was born in Staten Island?
Yeah.
So God forbid you move to Jerusalem and you just leave the earth, you're still going to be a native Staten Island. That's your history, right?
Okay, yeah.
So the home is always home, and home is where the heart is. I feel that if you had workers that were looking for a home, versus somebody that's looking for an opportunity.
I've had guys that left, and I generally, not generally, well, what do you say, like, sincerely was happy that they opened their own place.
Okay, yeah, but where their own place at?
Not even far.
Okay.
Not even far. Within 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, but there was no competition.
The thing is, the same person, they reach back and take somebody out of my store.
Okay, there we go. Okay,
so leading up to you leaving, I'm happy for you. I'm like, yo, congratulations, you know, just, you know, do your thing, whatever.
But they come to your shop to take another barber.
Well, they were there, and when they finally left, they took a barber. That's happened mad times. It's not something that's new.
You never let them back?
Yeah.
Wow. Why?
Because once again,
good, man.
I want to keep the wheel rolling. Like I want to keep the wheel.
So
rolling.
is it safe to say you see the good in people more than the bad?
I don't think it's good, Corey. Like you keep saying that. I don't think it's like good or bad. I just want day to day. I want the best talent around me.
Even if they swipe you.
If they're the best talent and the best plan right now for
I guess that
that's how I keep it going for 25 years. I got people that have barbershops and they're like, hell no, you ain't ever coming back here. But now your lifespan is 8 years of owning a barbershop. I own for 25 years.
Right.
So people leave. No.
Okay, I got you on that. So even if a person has a drug,
I always believed in volume, having more people, more barbers, more different ethnicity barbers, more like the more the better.
Good barbers.
Yeah, more the better. More the better.
Your brand is known solely for cuts that represent you.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, okay, so you did say one thing because I thought you would have downplayed that. So what is your cuts known to be?
No, because I don't even like saying that the way you said it, because I don't want to say like I don't want to say like everybody.
Let me say it. There's no competition in the borough. Now I'm pretty sure there's a lot more better barbers that have came upon since.
Oh, there's a lot of great barbers on Staten
Official,
yeah.
But I still think legendary wise, it hasn't been a shop that is doing the competition and things that you guys are doing. So with that being said, you probably gonna deny this too. Did you ever experience any blatant jealousy with people that came and worked for you and had this thing back then? We know one particular person that you don't think that like my father used to tell me if people were jealous of me, you know, us like I don't see that. Do you see it now?
I think you always see it, but it's not important.
You don't think
moving the brand forward, no, because that's their problem, right?
Okay.
That's not my problem, right?
Okay. But you're aware.
Because now if I allow that to come in, into my now I'm gonna change who I am. Oh, I'm not gonna take nobody back, or I'm not gonna do this and that. People literally have came and went 3 and 4 and 5 times.
Wow.
And came back to work.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
But they were good enough to do that.
Yeah.
Did you need them?
I always need good help.
Okay.
I can't exist without good help.
So what is something where a barber can't come back? Where's somebody in your life where you know that you're done with them, just generally?
I don't think I ever tell nobody. I don't think I've never experienced anything that made me say I would never deal with somebody again. If they're talented.
So you give a chance?
Yeah, 100%. I give a couple of chances, a lot of chances.
So if you give chances, do you feel that is a major... Would that be your downfall to a degree?
It can't be the downfall because I'm in business 25 years. People don't get to this level.
They come to you because of you.
But you
understand what I'm saying?
If I
You're
cut
in business for 25
you know what I always thought, like, if you cut people off and be stubborn and shit like that, you're cutting yourself off, right?
You tell me that. That's true.
Yeah, because now I might not need that person that crossed me or whatever right then and there, right? But 3 or 4 years down the line, now 2 guys just left and I need help, and now this guy comes back.
That is true.
So now we've
lost a worker now that's doing 12 years in jail. So yeah,
he comes back home. You lost 2 other people. So it's like a
revolving door.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Okay,
if you could deal with them, if they're not literally like a pain in the ass. I've had people that is just too much mentally to deal. Yeah, like they're too mentally like it's not.
And he had to go.
Nothing. Yeah, I can't deal with that. Like,
this particular person, this partner, are you in support or was you behind her doing this? In other words, was there a breach of, not a partnership, but was there a breach of something that you had an understanding, and do you feel that you were duped?
Yeah, I think so, to a degree.
Okay.
To a degree.
Now, in the sense as far as what certain business things that you guys are supposed to be doing together here, and then now it was like just overnight, listen, I'm out of here? Like, did you prepare for this?
I could say, yeah. Now I see how people get stumped on video, people with the questions. I gotta say, this shit been happening. It's not the first person ever to do it to me, but it never feels nice. It never feels nice. No matter where I'm at in my career, it never feels nice to happen to me.
Would you take a person, would you take her back? Hypothetically, let's just say.
What they say, too soon? No, listen, I'm for anything moving forward, man. Anything that's gonna move the business forward, I got no problem with.
So you don't hold grudges?
I actually do. I really do hold some grudges, right? But not when it comes to business. You know, like I get.
Do you think that has a lot to feel that the dedication or more of this addiction of being a workaholic plays a part?
Yeah, keeping the wheel going. That's what I'm saying. This is all goes back to tact. You made a video with me where we were talking, and in the video you were saying you were predicting 5 to 10 years from the time we took the video.
Right.
And you were spot on. You was like, I could see this, I could see that happening, and this and that. And everything you said was true. Like everything that you said came in terms of me growing the brand and not moving around too much because I'm a staple in the community and this and that and that. That was spot on. So I think the only way you do that is by not holding grudges, you know?
I think that's inspiring. So do you encourage more people, whether it's business or not, is this relative and personal relationships, are grudges useless is the question?
No, because I'm probably not as good at letting grudges go in any area of my life besides business, you know?
Well, you inspired me not to hold grudges.
Yeah.
You called it grudge holder. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't believe in cutting people off and doing stuff like that.
Oh.
But then, Corey, here's a whole other side of it. Some people aren't motivated unless they have like that type of aggression. Like they got to create that type of aggression.
That's
you know what I'm talking about?
That's true. Yeah.
I can't really give you an example.
No, I could give you an example.
Like they're not motivated unless it's you versus them.
Well, there was a dude, this rich dude I know, this Russian Jew cat. He said he gets motivated by problems because that's what makes him strong. Because when he solves it, then he moves into the next one. Bring it to him.
I've had battles with people like that.
Yeah, he told me that shit.
Yeah.
So, hey, shit.
And I'm looking at them like, yo, we don't have problems. Like, but in their head and to motivate them, they were like, nah, you my op. You're my, what the young kids say, op. You're my opposition. Yeah. Yeah.
So that in your op, so
those are the people that bother me.
Okay, so when we say as black people, we all stick together. If somebody open up a barbershop next door with the same color scheme and everything that worked in your shop, as if this is part two, I'm pretty sure people try to use it with your old location, they tried it and failed. What would you say to that?
You can't really say nothing. You got to go based off of what you've been through. I know that shit don't work.
Right.
I know it, Corey. I know that shit don't work. And I went up against like really talented people.
Right.
Look, I went against a really talented barber, and that shit didn't work.
Okay, you did.
This guy literally had me up at night worrying about business, and it didn't work. I think if you stand on your own, if you keep that same, and you don't change who you are, and these people are like, they're fueling themselves with making you their enemy and stuff like that, that shit don't work.